But before we move on to more of the editing functions, let's talk about something that's very important, something that needs to be set up correctly in order for us to have a really optimal editing experience, and that is matching the project properties to the media we're using. So right now you can see in my preview window here, it's reading 1440 by 1080 by 32. Now this happens to match the media I'm using here. This was shot with an HDV camcorder, and the frame size happens to be 1440 by 1080. And what that means is that the image is 1440 pixels wide and 1080 pixels high. And that's how you get this widescreen image here. Now you might be using media that has a different resolution or aspect ratio entirely. For instance, if you're using DV, it is usually 720 by 480. Now what's going to happen is, if Vegas isn't set up to match the media we're using, it's going to have to convert it on the fly in order to play it back. And that is probably going to make your playback very choppy because it's converting on the fly there. So we want to match the project to the media. In this case, it is matched, but let's say there was some other kind of media on here, let's say DV or something. So let's go ahead and find the Properties button, which is the little blue button with the arrow on it. Click on that, and now we have Project Properties. And you can see on the template you have a drop-down box, and you can choose from this list the different kind of video you might have. NTSC DV, NTSC DV widescreen, for instance. Now you might be working in PAL instead of NTSC. NTSC we use in North America and Japan. PAL most other places. Or you might be working in HDV or HD. You can pick from there. Or if you're just not sure what kind of media you have, you can use this Match Media Settings button here. So in order to show you how that works, first I'm going to set it to one that's not really going to work for me, which is the NTSC DV. I'm going to hit OK, and you see that the preview window changes here. It's not widescreen anymore, and that's why it's showing this footage as letterboxed, because it's resized the image and left a blank top and bottom because the image is not the same height and width ratio. 4:3 is standard definition. 16:9 is the most common ratio for widescreen. So right now, not going to work so well. Let's go ahead and go back to Properties. And since I know what this is, I can simply go HDV 1080-60i, that's what I've got. But let's say we're not sure about what kind of media we have. We can go to Match Media Settings, and let's say I'm just going to choose Farmhouse. Hit that. It's detected that it is in fact HDV 1080-60i, and it just fills in all the fields for me, and there, we're back to the way it had been set up before. Now let's say you're using all kind of media types that are different resolutions and aspect ratios. Vegas lets you do that rather easily, and it's just a matter of picking out what you're using most and just go with that as your project property setting.